Hello and welcome to From Garden to Plate. I am Alice Erickson, the creator of this channel on YouTube. I like to focus in this channel with promoting organic gardening and how to utilize preserved items from the bounty of the harvest and creating everyday delicious meals. My goal is to inspire you to organic garden and to become a house chef. If that interests you, please like and subscribe. In today's episode, I will be showing you how to plant a fall garden and making pasta sauce utilizing fresh ingredients from the garden. I'm going to be sowing a fall garden today. The plan is to reconstitute the soil with some fertilizer, and I will also be adding in bush beans and some Chinese cabbage. Going to be adding in the fertilizer. I'm doing an all-purpose. I recently took out lettuces, so the soil has been stripped pretty decently. So all I do is I take the all-purpose and I just spread it out evenly as I can. I remove my drip irrigation. I take a rake like this and I break it into the soil and spread it out. I was lucky enough today to have Mother Nature provide some rain, so the soil is actually quite wet, which would be fantastic to sow the seeds. There we go, do some chopping action. That'll loosen that wet soil up. Sally's my supervisor. She's making sure I'm doing everything right. Every seed packet has dates on it to when you can harvest. 65 to 95 days on the Chinese cabbage, and my bush beans are 48 to 54 days. So what you do for your fall harvest is you subtract the days from your first frost date. I am in zone 6A, and I went to the Farmer's Almanac to find out when the frost dates were. You can go by zip code. According to them, they say that it's going to be October 17th, so I take the amount of days and I subtract back. I am at ideal time for planting, which is late July, early August. It's required for the product that you are going to sow. So it tells me 18 to 36. So I'm going to go like 2 feet, if not a little bit wider. Now I'm going to be putting a finishing mulch on top of this, so I don't want to make it too deep because I'm going to have that top layer. It suggests 1 to 2 inches deep. So if I do about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch of mulch, I don't want to go super deep. So I'm just going to go about every 2 feet. Plant one in. Spreading them nice and far apart just to make sure I have a good yield. I'm doing 2 seeds in a spot. Just did there. Watch out, Sally. That'd be perfect. And I just go down the row, going down the center. Oh, that kind of worked out. Those dropped where I wanted them. It's nice when things do that. Last things that I do is I take thinly shaved pine as my mulch. It's going to keep everything nicely moisturized and kind of keep the heat off of the seeds as well. It is important to do this because it also protects your microorganisms in the soil, because you don't want the sun stripping it out. The all-purpose food I put in too is going to help out the microorganisms as well. I don't put a very thick layer. I put like I said earlier, 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch. After this, I will go and I will water everything to make sure that the seeds are nice and saturated. And by the way, where you can get these wood shavings is a really, Tractor Supply has it, or like farm stores. Great place to get these. And they will break down and go add to the soil, and it won't hurt anything as in toxic level. So super ideal, make sure it's pine. Organic gardening has many benefits, such as providing a safe environment for beneficial bugs and our precious pollinators. It also makes sure that it has really good transfer of nutrients into our body because there's nothing synthetic in it. The other benefit is flavor at its purest form, so therefore it is incredibly important for cooking. I want to make sure that you understand that when it comes to canning, you want to go by Ball's method or what is on the prepackaged for making sauces, because the science is proven to make sure there is no spoilage. So I'm not going to show you every procedure and how to can, because I want you to follow that because it's proven. I do a few things differently than what the recipes state to do in order to can. And that is, I don't peel my tomatoes because there are a lot of nutrients in the skin and flavor. This blender is incredible. It can go up to 10 stages. It prevents the little pieces of skin that you get from the tomato, which makes a bad texture. That's why the recipes state to remove it. So I don't have to do that step. This bad boy's got my back. The other thing is my method of sanitation. I like to use Star San. I will wash everything, including utensils, prior, then do a dip in the solution of sanitation here, and it prevents all off flavors. So therefore, you get all that hard work you have done in the garden at its purest form. I wanted to go over what I got here. It's pretty amazing. What a yield, right? A bounty indeed. So what I have here is a variety of tomatoes because that's important. You want that in the flavor profile. So I have Romas and San Marzanos. That's my paste that makes a good sauce. But we want a little bit of more flavor, and that's why I have the Brandywines and the purple Cherokees. I grew some Shallots. That's a big one, look at that. I have garlic that I got in the store that's already been pre-peeled and everything. Some bell peppers, because I want the end of the harvest, utilize all my veggies into a sauce. I'm going to show you some close-up things when it comes to prep that is incredibly important and why to do them. There is a core to every tomato. So in order to make this easy, you cut it. The core is right there. The reason you cut this out is because it will bitter your sauce. See right there, a little bit of green, a lot of white. Cut that out. There is a little brown spot on this garlic. That will bitter your sauce. So it is important to cut that out. Please use a vegetable wash and wash everything, so therefore you have no off flavors. That's incredibly important. Everything has been cut and evenly divided in between 5 pans. I got my smoker going, started off on smoking setting, and then I will bump it up to 225. The ideal goal is to go an hour. I will check there. If I need a little bit more, I'll go another half hour. So what I do is I have some olive oil, my seasoning from Bounty of the Harvest, Italian, is going to go on this, but very lightly because I want my vegetables to be forward, so this will be a back note. To make sure that my seasoning has good impact, I'm going to use this. Go in, do a fresh grind. And then I will lightly coat over the sheet pans, just like this. It's like I planned the amount. Okay, olive oil, the nice mister. Try to evenly coat everybody. It's gonna help with the roasting process. The reason I roast in my smoker is, one, I can get 5 trays at once, and 2, it is an amazing flavor in if you roast your vegetables. So I absolutely suggest it. In order not to destroy my nails here, I've already done it enough with cutting all these veggies, and I got my crying out with those shallots, let me tell ya. Just go in and mix everybody nice and even. Yeah. Best tool in the kitchen, hands. Mix everybody up. Oh yeah. Spread them out evenly. And there we go. All right. Yeah. This is a nice close-up of the consistency of the sauce prior to me reducing. I put in 1 tablespoon worth of light brown sugar. The brown sugar helps with the acid level in the sauce. Spaghetti sauce or pasta sauce is always amazing, and it shows all the fruit of your labor going in the garden. A true bounty of a harvest indeed. I was able to put the tomato varieties and doing the bell peppers and the shallots, and of course my Italian seasoning. So therefore it's all me, which is fantastic. Power of organic gardening, you really get an amazing flavor, and those companion plants do change the flavor. That's the chive and the basil I'm referring to. Here we go, taste test. Show you a close-up of the sauce consistency. Very nice. Wow, it's so good. Very roasted. The seasoning is very light, so the vegetables are forward just like I wanted. May your sauce come out as amazing too. Thank you very much for viewing today.